Andy.
No more Mike.
Getting fancy,
Ask
man.
questions.
Getting fancy. What do you see in LSU?
An athletic, talented team. They're probably as long and as athletic as any group that we'll face all season along their front line. It's anchored by Johnny O'Brien. We're all very familiar with him. He's developed into the player that we had envisioned when we were recruiting him. Terrific low post scorer, a guy that commands a double team or at least a lot of attention in that low post area. And then they've added some pieces around him, starting with Jordan Mickey, one of the fabulous freshmen that seem to proliferate college basketball in this day and age. He's a long, athletic kid who's leading the SEC in block shots. And then a Jarrell Martin, who they're playing some at the 3, some at the 4. He's a McDonald's All-American, a Louisiana native who at 6'9" really gives you some size issues if they play him at that 3 spot.
How hard is it to defend them if they go that big lineup?
Well, it's going to create some concerns from a matchup standpoint for us, but we'll have to devise a game plan to give our guys a chance.
How do you guys do a better job of cutting off the penetration than you did against State?
You know, we've got to understand who the drivers are and who the shooters are. To me, defense is about 2 things. It's about effort first and foremost, and then angles. You can't have one without the other, and we've got to do a better job in both those areas of understanding personnel, scouting. That's the reason we spend so much time in trying to give our guys the information that they need from a scouting standpoint, and then playing proper angles. It's been an issue with this team, not only from a defensive standpoint, but from a rebounding standpoint. A lot of times I think we've put the necessary effort into putting ourselves in a position, and then we just don't play the right angle, so that's something we've got to keep working on.
I know it might seem like a simple question, but how important is it to protect home court in the SEC moving forward?
It's vital. If we have any aspirations of playing significant basketball in March, it's vital, and this group hasn't done a very good job on it to this point, and hopefully that'll improve.
You talked so much about your front court all year, and it's been something that you had to work with. But when you look at Johnny and think, he could be in that front court too, is it kind of hard not to look back and think, what could have been?
Well, I would certainly like for him to be in the red, white, and blue tomorrow night, but it is what it is. That battle was lost a long time ago. He's a terrific player. He's a good kid, and I'm happy to see him have success.
When you got Marshall back after the opener, you had him come off the bench for a while. Do you follow that same plan now, or does he go right back into the starting
he goes right
spot?
back in the starting lineup. We're going to play our best players.
You talk about some of the younger guys on your front line after the game against Mississippi State. Could there be a possibility for even more minutes for guys like Saiz and Colby, especially against LSU?
Well, we're trying. With Dwight, it was unusual in that because he had the injury, he's just now rounding into shape physically as well as having an understanding of what we're trying to do. I don't want to put him in a position where he hurts our team or he's not ready for the minutes that I would like to give him. So that's a work in progress. Sebas, A.J. Bear, we're going to continue to mix and match and see who's the best for that particular matchup, as well as who's performing the best. At the end of the day, we're all in a performance and production business, and you got to produce. So I'm putting guys in there that I think can produce. And then, Anthony, I thought gave us some quality minutes at the 4 against State, and that's something we'll continue to explore.
Andy, have you had conversations with DeMarco, and can you get more out of him?
I'm trying. DeMarco's heart's in the right place, and he's got a big, strong, physical body. Again, ultimately, it comes down to production. I demand of him what I demand of all of our front court guys. First and foremost, defend, give us a presence in the paint, rebound the ball, and make layups and free throws. I don't think that's very demanding, but sometimes it's easier said than done.
You've spoken about Colby being kind of a wild card, if you will. How do you project him? What kind of player can he be?
He's a big, strong, athletic kid. I think he gives you a defensive presence with some block shots at the basket. Even though this team has blocked a lot of shots, not as many at the basket as we had last year with Reg. I think Dwight gives us some of that.
Where's Jannari in terms of his development?
He's getting better. I thought the shots that he made, the plays that he made against Auburn were crucial. I think it helped his confidence. It certainly helped my confidence in him. He's a guy that in certain situations, as it relates to matchups, as it relates to the defense that our opponent is playing, we can certainly stick him in, and I think he can help us.
What's really held him back from getting meaningful minutes?
Lack of experience and the fact that I think the game's going really, really fast for him on both sides.
Have you been pleased with Derek so far?
I was really pleased early. I had to play him extended minutes, really a lot of minutes. With Marshall's absence, we played him and Jarvis over 35 minutes a game in that 2-game stretch. That's too many, but it is what it is, especially when we didn't even have Anthony for Auburn. I thought he was really good for us early, not as good late. I think he started the game 3 for 4 from the floor and finished 5 for 17. So you do the math. It wasn't there for us late. He's a kid that's had a lot of big moments for Ole Miss and has helped us win a lot of games, and he'll continue to do so moving forward.